Hi guys, welcome back to another month of my eyeshadow bank. So this is the eyeshadow bank for the month of May. And this is a project that was created by Laura. So I will link her channel down below. And essentially it's kind of like every single time you buy an eyeshadow or a palette, you lose points. And if you use up an eyeshadow or use it enough times or hit a pan, you gain points. And you're essentially trying to stay, well, hopefully at least afloat, but preferably in the positive numbers. Meaning that you're using more shades that you're actually buying. I don't think I'm gonna be as successful. I'm not gonna be doing as well probably, but I hope I'm gonna be at least able to stay around 0 to like negative, I don't know, 300. Like I wanna always stay around that. That would be wonderful. Because I am someone who buys a lot of makeup, who tests a lot of makeup, who loves spending money on makeup, especially eyeshadows. Like that's kind of what I do. But I still wanna like keep it reasonable and focus on my project plans as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows, as you can clearly see on my face. I am currently testing out the Drops of Fantasy by DD Signature, and that video will be on my, and that review will be up on my channel on Monday, so stay tuned for that. I'm actually not counting this palette for this month's spending because I'm currently like just first time playing with it today, and so I'm gonna just use it, so I'm just gonna count it for next month. So now let's just jump right into the numbers, and I'm gonna explain all the rules as I go. There are a couple, or like multiple of them are the original ones from Laura, and a couple I added for my own sake because it's my collection and it's, you know, so that I still motivate myself to use my eyeshadows and not completely like go bankrupt in this project. So first up, let's talk about all the shades that I bought. So there are 12 shades from Cleona that I bought. 2 of them are technically like highlighters on the face, but I'm gonna use them as eyeshadows as well. So you know, I want to be transparent here. So 12 new shades from Cleona, which means I'm spending 120 points because every single eyeshadow, whether it's single or a shade in a palette, costs 10 points. If you've been given that palette and you didn't know that you're getting it, it's 0 points. And if you've been given that palette and you knew you're getting it, but you haven't spent your own money on it, so either like a coupon code, so either like a gift voucher or a gift from somebody else, it's 5 points per shade. But these ones were all bought by me, so it's 10 points per every single shade, and since it's 12 shades, it's 120 points that I'm spending. Then I also bought a small ZC palette. It's a 4-pan palette. I will pop in the way it looks like because I don't remember the actual name of it, but it has like a colorful cat on the packaging, and it's a 4-pan, it's a quad, so that's 40 points that I'm spending on it. And then also the Lord of the Rings collab with Glamlight, or like the collection that they've had, and the Middle Earth palette that is in that collection has 20 shades, so that means I'm spending 200 points on that. So in total I'm spending 360 points, which is a lot. My current total from last month is that we're in the negative 181 points, and we're subtracting another 360 points. But now let's get into all the eyeshadows that I've been able to use up and all the points that I've been able to earn. So the biggest chunk will be from the fact that I decluttered my Spellcraft palette by Little. I resold it because I realized that I'm not really using it, and I'm probably not gonna be using it all that much. If I want to use that color story, I just have it somewhere else in the palettes that I'm way more likely to reach for, because they also provide me something more, if that makes sense. And there was a person that wanted to really have that palette, so I just decided. Sometimes I just like put palettes that I'm not completely sure, they're kind of like on a chopping block on Vinted, which is kind of like a Poshmark. And if somebody wants it immediately, then they probably want it more than I do. If there's no one like really looking for it, and I decide that I kind of am okay with keeping it, then obviously I keep it. But if there's someone who immediately wants it, and I know that I'm kind of on the fence if I do or not want that, I just feel like it's better to give it to someone who actually will enjoy it and who like is excited about that palette, which I still think that it's a gorgeous color story, and the shades were wonderful, like the performance were wonderful, but I just wouldn't really reach for it as often as I would want to, and I don't want to keep palettes that are just kind of sitting on a shelf. So yeah, declutter this Spellcraft palette, which is a 15 pan, so I'm gaining 150 points. Then next category is no pen left behind, so all the eyeshadow palettes that I've been able to use every single shade from, that's what no pen left behind means, by the way, you gain 1 point per palette. So I've been able to no pen left behind the Delicious Delights palette from Cosmic Beauty, because it was my palette crush of the month last month. Then the Merry Christmas palette by Udens Eye, I only have a couple of shades left from that palette, so it's kind of easy to no pen left behind, and most of them are like a lot of them are currently either in my Shop My Stash, Pendos eyeshadows, or it's just in the Penda palette, because that's what I'm trying to use up this year. Then I created one flower BYOP that is already on my Instagram, so that one I used. So that's another point. Then I used my Liana palette by Shirley Makeup, because it was my Project Level Up palette, so you have to use every single shade in that palette the number of times based off like the level you are on. So that was my level 2 palette, so I had to use every single shade twice. And I started working on it in April and finished it in May. So that's 1 point for the No Pen Left Behind. Then my Avatar The Last Airbender palette, the Earth version from Little, also been able to No Pen Left Behind that. Then the Lord of the Rings palette, because I just filmed my review, and that one is already up on my channel, so I will link it down below. It's been out since 2 days ago, I think. That's when I uploaded it. And in all of my reviews, when I review a palette, I use every single shade. So I do as many looks as I need to use every single shade in that palette for the review. So that's the Lord of the Rings. Then my Chromebook palette by DD Signature, because it's my palette crush of the month currently. And then I had one BYOP, which was like Wisteria flower inspired. It was a 9 pan, so I was also able to no pen left behind that one. So in total, I'm gaining 8 points per this category. Then the next category is shades that I've been able to hit pan on. Every single shade you hit pan on earns you 5 points. So every shade, 5 points. I've been able to hit a pan on the shade Frosting from Cosmic Beauty. If I have pictures, I will just pop them on the screen. So that's the Frosting. Then also the Mango Sorbet shade from Makeup Beauty Shop. That one I've had for like 2 years, year and a half, so it's really cool to have a pan on that. Then my Terra Moons shade called Star Sign, which is a beautiful shade. Then from Terra Moons also the shade Charon. I've been using a lot of these singles in the BYOPs that I mentioned, and I was able to hit pan on them. So Charon from Terra Moons. Then from Makeup Beauty Shop the shade Millenaria, which is a beautiful kind of like pinky base with gold orange sparkle. Then the shade Amethyst from Cosmic Beauty from the Muse palette. And then the shade Silvery Snake, which is from the Liana palette. That was my Project Level Up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades per 5 points each. So that gives us 35 points that I've been able to get this month. Then there is shades that I've been able to completely use up. So finished, there's not a single dust particle of that eyeshadow anywhere in my collection. So I've been able to use up completely the shade Best Wish, which is from my Merry Christmas palette. Yay. And then also the shade Snowlight, which is from my Christmas Eve palette. Both of them are from Woodin's Eye, and they're their original Christmas palette from 2.5 years ago. 1, 2, 3 years ago. I'm not completely sure. It's been a while. Yeah, it's like 3 Christmases ago. So yeah, so that gives me 20 points because every single used up shade gives you the same amount of points as buying a shade. So that's 10. And we're gaining 20 points. Then shades that I've been able to use 10 times. So I have kind of like levels. So if I use the shade 10 times in a year, that gives me 1 point. If I use that shade 25 times in a year, that's 2 points. 50 times, 3 points. 75, 4 points. And 100 times in a year, 5 points. I've never had a shade that I've been able to use 100 times. Like, eyeshadows don't last me that long, but in case that would ever happen, yeah, that would give me a lot of points. So the shades that I was able to add another 10 points in, because some of them already have like 20, 30 uses in this year. One of them is Jinriki from the Chicago Speakeasy palette by Nomad Cosmetics. Then the shade Softly from Odin's Eye from the Christmas Eve palette. Then Gingerbread from Merry Christmas palette from Odin's Eye. Jingle Bell, also Merry Christmas palette. Best Wish, also Merry Christmas palette. Then the shade Charon from Terra Moons. Matcha Cookie from Merry Christmas, and that one I was able to use 20 times since the last time I mentioned it in this project, so like in this type of video. So that gives me 2 points. And then the shade Snowlight from Christmas Eve, and the shade Equerry from the DT Signatures Chromebook Volume 2, and that's because I would use the shade Equerry and Matcha Cookies together. It's like a Matcha Cookies is vibrant matcha green, and Equerry is like a deeper, brighter purple. And if I would mix these two together, it would create a brown for my brow. So I would use them pretty much every single day for the past month. So that's why I've been able to get so many uses. And Equerry, I think I have like 17 uses in that shade currently. So in total, those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. So I'm gaining 10 points per this category. Then for my palette crush of the month palette, if I'm gonna be actually, the palette crush of the month is my own project, and it means that you pick a palette, or you can even randomly select it, but I always handpick them. And you pick a palette that you have to use in the next month. Every single day you do your makeup. In case you don't do makeup every single day, then obviously every time you do your makeup, I do makeup every single day, so I have to use it every single day and get like 30 to 31 uses, depending on how long the month is. Last month it was the Delicious Delights by Cosmic Beauty, and I was able to use it every single day. So that gave me 2 points. Then my Project 20 uses, which is a randomly selected 5 palettes that I have to add 20 uses in total. So I have to use it for 20 different looks. I don't have to use every single shade in that palette. I can just focus on one and use that 20 times, but in total I have to add 20 uses of that palette. And I count the use of a palette by looks. So if I use it one day for one look, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 shade or 11, that is 1 use of that palette. So that's what Project 20 uses is about. And every single palette that I use 20 times, not just in this project, but in general, every single palette that I use 20 times from the beginning of the year gets me 1 point. So I have Nomad Chicago Speakeasy, Christmas Eve by Odin's Eye, Tinkerbell by Colourpop, Chromebook by DT Signature, Mini Charms by Beauty Bay, Delicious Delights by Cosmic Beauty, and my Spring BYOP that I was using for the past 3 months. So that together gives me 7 points because there's 7 palettes. And then if I would use like a palette 50 times in that year, that would give me 2 points. And if I would use it 75 times in a year, it would give me 3 points. And 100 times a year, that would give me 5 points. That would give me 4 points. I hope that makes sense. Then shades that I've been able to use more than 10 times. Shades that I've been able to use 25 times since the beginning of the year. And I was like, since the beginning of the year is the shade Gingerbread from the Merry Christmas palette and the Matcha Cookie from Merry Christmas. So those both give me 2 points each, so that's 4 points, which means that in total I've been able to gain 236 points this month. I've spent 360 points this month. We started this month at negative 181 points, and we're currently at negative 305 points, which is a lot. But for the next month, I'm gonna be only adding the DD Signature palette. Well, there's actually one more coming to me, which is the Beauty Moons Cosmetics. Oh, and I bought the Little Adventure Time palette. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to finish a couple of shades and hit a couple pans. So hopefully that will give me some points. And there are a lot of palettes that I'm currently getting closer to using it like 20 times, some even 50 times. And I have 2 palettes that I'm kind of currently wondering if I shouldn't get rid of. So maybe that will give me some points as well. So yeah, but I definitely want to like hit more pans, use up more shades. I have 2 that are like super close, and I hope I will be able to do that. And there's one shade that I'm like extremely close to hit a pan on. So I hope that those will be successful during June. I know that June is slightly shorter, like 1 day shorter. But yeah, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna try to open left behind a couple more palettes. So yeah, we're not doing great, but last month I was able to gain more points than I spent. So I hope, and summer will be really good because I know that there are 2 palettes coming to me in June, but then for July and August, I would like to not buy any eyeshadows, whether it's singles, whether it's palettes. Like I really want to not buy anything. I think the only exception will be the new Bella Beauty Bar palette, because that one is coming to Monolith in the middle of June. So I think I'm gonna get it like before the end of June, and I'm probably gonna review it somewhere around beginning of July. And I have 4 palettes currently that I haven't tried yet, that I haven't hauled yet, and that I haven't counted in this project because I haven't used them yet. But once I'll do that, I'll add them there. But apart from that, I don't want to spend and buy anything. And I will be really trying to use up the 2 Christmas palettes from Odenside because I don't have that many shades there. And I would really like to get at least rid of one of them before the end of summer, which if I would be able to use up the entire palette, that would give me 160 points because these are 16 pans. So that will be a lot of points to gain. So yeah, that's kind of the battle plan. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know how you're doing in case you're counting your uses. And I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another week of makeup news. So have a great day, and bye.